Hello, my friend. I want to tell you a story about a cockatoo named Cecil, a story about pin feathers, persistence, and the thousand small ways a heart learns how to be a heart again. If you've ever rescued anyone, bird, dog, or human, you already know. Healing is never a straight line. With Cecil, it was a carousel of selves, and I stood there, one hand on the rail, going around with him, round and round, until at last he let me see who he really was. Cecil arrived with a crown of pin feathers that looked like frost on a winter lawn, all those little sheaths standing up on his head, unopened, unpreened, unexplored. You might not think feathers can tell a story, but they can. These were the chapters no one had read to him. He had the pages, yes, but not the hands to turn them. When a bird can't or won't preen those new feathers, it says something about trust, about safety, about the simple act of being touched. So we started with quiet. I sat where he could see me. I kept my voice low like a lullaby you hum, without words, no rush, no shoulds, just presence. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give is to be the one who doesn't hurry, a scared soul. We practiced the smallest rituals, the bowl in the same place, the soft good morning, the pause before I moved my hand. Predictability is a bridge, and each day we took one more step across. Then there was the statue phase. If you've never seen a cockatoo pretend to be granite, you're missing a very committed performance. Cecil would lock himself into stillness, as if stillness were a suit of armor. Eyes half soft, muscles quiet, the body carved out of "Don't look at me," a living gargoyle on a perch. I learned to sit beside the stone and talk to it anyway. "Hi, buddy." "I see you." Sometimes I'd narrate my chores, sometimes I'd read out loud, sometimes I'd just breathe and let him hear a heartbeat that wasn't rushing him. I told the statue that in this house, statues are free to climb down whenever they're ready. And one feather at a time, the granite warmed. There's a moment with traumatized birds when curiosity taps the glass from the inside. A tiny lean forward. A pin feather offered, just barely, to the possibility of comfort. Cecil let me help with that first little sheath, ever so gently. And I swear the room exhaled. One clean flake off a pin feather, and he looked at me like, huh, that didn't end the world. We made a ceremony of it. A few seconds, a soft praise, a pause, and we stop. Consent is the rhythm. The next day, a few more seconds. Trust isn't a staircase, it's beach sand under the tide. It comes in, it slips back, and then it comes in a little farther. And then the personalities started arriving like guests at a party. First, Cecil Jekyll and Cecil Hyde, the gentle scholar and the storm cloud. In the morning, he might be sunshine, soft eyes, curious beak, the polite little "may I" tilt. By afternoon, Hyde could show up, not dangerous, just intense. "I have my toy. Beware, I will hit you with it for fun, for my own enjoyment." If you've known a cockatoo, you know that paradox intimately. I learned to treat Hyde like weather. We don't scold the rain. We give it a roof, a towel, and time. Then came Cecil the cuddler, a careful lean into the palm, the heavy, warm weight of a bird who decides your chest is safe harbor. If you've ever had a cockatoo press his face into your neck and sigh, you understand what the word home is trying to be. And on another day, Cecil the preener. He would turn the favor around, tilting toward my sleeve, my hair, a careful nibble like he was stitching two lives together with the smallest beak thread in the world. Preening is a love letter written in Morse code. Tap, pause, tap, tap. He was telling me and all the flock he preened, "You belong to my flock." It's hard to keep your eyes dry when that message finally arrives. These selves didn't replace one another. They layered, like plumage, down for warmth, contour for flight, covert feathers smoothing the turbulence. Cecil wasn't changing into someone else. He was recovering the whole of who he'd always been. Then came the chapter we didn't ask for. He got sick, fatty liver disease, avian ganglion neuritis, words that sit heavy in the mouth and heavier in the heart. Sick birds hide it until they can't, and then it's like watching a candle try to convince you it's not winded. I measured, I watched, I worried. I worked with the vet. Medication schedules, careful foods, the gentle routines that signal, you're safe, you're seen, we've got you. Illness is its own kind of statue, not the stone of fear this time, but the stone of exhaustion. There are days when a bird seems to dissolve into the corner of his cage, like he's trying to be less target for whatever hurt is stalking him. Those are the days you stand in the doorway and whisper, "I'm not going anywhere." And then, slowly, stubbornly, Cecil decided he was not done being Cecil. First, the eyes. Sick eyes are fog. Coming back eyes are lighthouses. Then the posture, a little taller at morning check-in like a flag deciding the wind is worth it. Then the tiny mischief. A toy moved, a pellet accidentally tossed with a secret smile. Under medication, under care, under the roof of 1,000 small kindnesses, he started bringing all his selves back to the party. Cecil Jekyll returned with that quiet dignity, the gentleman scientist of the flock. Cecil Hyde still blows through sometimes. We keep an umbrella by the door and let the storm pass with respect. Cecil the cuddler reclaimed his seat over my heart. Cecil the preener rethreaded the seams. And somewhere in there, he wrote a new name on his calling card. Cecil the Survivor. People ask me, how do you do it? How do you keep showing up when the road is long and the answers are slow? I think of a head full of unopened pin feathers and a bird who learned that love can be as gentle as a fingertip. That's how. If you're listening to this and you're tired, if you're carrying a creature who can't yet carry themselves, remember Cecil. Remember the statue who learned to move, the storm who learned to rest, the quiet heart who learned to be loud with joy again. Healing is not a miracle, it's a practice. Feather by feather, day by day, we become who we were meant to be. Cecil is still teaching me. He reminds me that courage sometimes looks like leaning into a palm, and hope sometimes sounds like the soft rasp of a sheath coming free. He's here, Cecil Jekyll, Cecil Hyde, Cecil the Cuddler, Cecil the Preener, and most of all, Cecil the Whole. And I am here with him. We're still crossing the bridge together. Thank you for being part of his flock.